What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be another very special video for my channel. Today marks the 3-year anniversary of when I first started my YouTube channel in 2021. So just like last year, I wanted to do a very special review for the anniversary of my YouTube channel. So I also want to give a huge thanks to everyone who has really supported me and my YouTube channel and really helped my channel grow the past 3 years. I have many new plans in the future ahead for my YouTube channel, with many new video ideas in the upcoming months. And so yeah, I'm gonna give a huge thanks to everyone who has really supported my YouTube channel. And so without further ado, I'll be reviewing the Daron Realtoy FedEx A380 transportation fleet set. So this has been a model I have been trying to get for a long time. It actually has been listed. There has been multiple listings on eBay for this model the past couple months. As far as I know of, this isn't, I wouldn't consider this a very rare model, but it definitely is rare to find one for a good price, because usually these playsets are listed for very high prices. Usually the price for an average Gemini Jets 1 to 200 scale model. So, I was able to get this model for, I think it was around $85, which is actually a very good price for this playset, considering that most of the time I see them listed for up to $150. The most I've seen one listed is probably $250, which is definitely way overpriced, for a model that isn't actually that rare. But so some of you guys may not even know that this model exists. So yes, this is a FedEx A380 model, and even though FedEx does not actually operate the A380, or they never really did, FedEx actually did order the A380 model, the A380, in to be part of their fleet in 2005. So the specific model that Realtoy had produced lasted for a couple years, and they actually made 2 different versions of this model. It was only distributed in this large airport playset. It has the title of Transportation Fleet Set, and I believe the large set with the 777 in it has the title of the Transportation Fleet Set. It really is no difference between it just has a different title. I'm not sure if the smaller FedEx 777 airport playset is also has the title of transportation. All it is just a large airport playset, or just a FedEx airport playset in general. So there were 2 different versions of this, as you can see down in the bottom corner with the old Daron logo. This is the original A380 model. So this was actually one of the first A380s that Realtoy had ever produced. I believe this model was produced in 2005 when FedEx had announced that they were going to be ordering the A380. So the second version that was produced has slightly different details. The engines are white, and I believe there are designs on the winglets, on the sharklets. Either there is a design or there isn't a design, and then there is some slight differences between the FedEx logos. But other than that, I think all the vehicles are pretty much exactly the same with the box, except for it has the newer Daron logo. So I'm not exactly sure when Realtoy had updated the FedEx A380 or when the newer version was released, but I would say it was probably sometime right before 2010, because most of the newer Daron logos were usually added sometime around 2010, or usually right before 2008, between 2008 and 2010. But I also don't really know why Realtoy had updated it, because if it has a new Daron logo on it, obviously it would have been between 2008 and 2010, it would have been after FedEx had canceled the order for the A380. So I really don't know why Realtoy would have updated it, and Daron would have kind of re-released it. So FedEx did originally order the A380 in 2005 to be part of their fleet. I believe they did place orders for between 6 to 10 A380s that were supposed to be converted into freighters when the A380 was originally coming out in 2005. So even after they placed the orders a year later in 2006, they ended up canceling the order due to the A380 keep being delayed and being pushed back and they weren't able to fulfill those requirements. So the A380 was supposed to start flights for FedEx, and I believe it was 2008 or 2009. They were supposed to start flights. They were supposed to commence flights, but they ended up canceling the order due to the delays of the A380, and I believe those delays were caused because the A380 cannot be converted into a freighter aircraft. I mean, it could, but the costs would have been way too much, and it's ultimately why there are no A380 freighters now, is because the way the aircraft is designed and the way the cockpit is positioned at the front of the plane, the 747 would definitely is a lot more of a more efficient plane that would be used, cost effective to convert into a freighter as well, because the nose cone, the way the cockpit is located on the 747 is a lot further up, and that way you can open up the nose cone at the front of the plane so cargo can be transported inside of the plane through the nose, and you can transport larger amounts of cargo. The A380, where the cockpit windows are located, the nose cone would not really be able to open up, so everything would have had to go in through a cargo door through the side, and that definitely would have not been much efficient. And ultimately, the costs to make these substantial modifications to it would have ultimately, and the effort to do that as well, would have ultimately ended up outweighing the benefits it would have been to convert it in general. So that's pretty much why there are no A380 freighters now and why it was delayed. So I would not consider this model to really be a fictional model. Like some other Realtoy models, such as I'll use the Realjet A380 for example. That is a complete fictional model that Realtoy had produced to kind of represent their brand. I don't know, I wouldn't consider this model a fictional one because it was based off of what was supposed to be a real model, but the most similar model that I can kind of relate this to is the American A350. So, pretty much the backstory behind both of these two, very similar, is probably Realtoy just decided to produce the model as soon as the airline had announced they were going to be placing orders for it. But instead, they ended up discontinuing the model, or at least for the American A350, they ended up discontinuing it once American had canceled the orders for the A350. So, but for the FedEx A380, the case, it does seem like Realtoy produced it a while after FedEx canceled the orders, but I guess that's something we might never know. I really don't know how I would find that information out, unless I were to specifically ask Daron, but I'm not even sure if they would know. So, but yeah, that pretty much is all the information for this playset. So, once again, I've been trying to find this playset for this model for years now. The model itself is definitely better to have at the full set. I'm sure most large airport playsets, it would be better to have as the full set, but the larger set, it is most rare to find one for a good price, so, which I'm not sure if that really makes sense if you're trying to sell it, but yeah, just, if you're going to sell this model, please don't list it for a really high price, because lots of other models are listed for high prices, and lots of people want to get this model, so I just happened to buy this one. This one was actually listed on eBay for a couple weeks. It was probably listed for up to a month before I bought it, so I knew there was probably, probably 10 watchers for this plane off of eBay, so lots of people had the chance to buy it, but I decided to finally get it, and I was able to make an offer for it for a little bit of a cheaper price anyway, so, but yeah. So that is all that I will say for this model. I think I pretty much said everything. One last thing is that when I did come with it, it did come used. Everything, I did take it out. Everything is still in good condition, except it is missing the triangle sign. The only thing with the triangle sign is it's pretty much the same thing as the other square sign up here. All it said was FedEx Express on it and had the white background, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, so now we'll get into the review of the model. So the entire box is pretty much just all plain white. Then you have the FedEx logos that are kind of dispersed throughout the playset. You got the FedEx logo up at the top, and the main difference I did notice between this one is that, and I think that is a difference on the newer updated one, is that they don't have the X in FedEx is actually orange. I believe that is what it is on the newer one. Either it is or it's the same one as this, but I find that definitely was interesting how it's silver, and you can't even really see it. At certain angles, you can't really see it. But so yeah, I got FedEx display at the top with the purple and the silver lettering coloring. Transportation fleet set displayed, and then for some reason the warning label is very big on this model. And then you have the purple outline throughout the box where the plastic covering is, and then the old Daron logo displayed on the bottom, die-cast metal, new livery designs, and plastic parts. And then on the side of the box, you have the FedEx logo, again in the same coloring with the transportation fleet set. And then on the back of the box, you have a very nice box art image of the FedEx A380 playset. I really like this box art image. I think Realtoy did a great job with designing it. I think it displays the playset very well with the A380 very well in general as well. Has all the vehicles and the signs displayed right there, as you can see the little triangle sign. And see, it's exactly the same thing as it is on the square, so it's really not a big deal. I wasn't too concerned about that. But the old Daron logo on the bottom, and that really is it. There's no other information. Usually there's lots of other information listed on here on the bottom portion of the box, but there isn't anything, no manufacturing date, since this is a pre-2010 model. And yeah, one of the best things I like about this is as well is how the box art image actually takes up the entire back part of the box. And also like how it kind of blends in with the bottom part here, since the box is already white. Kind of does a really nice job with blending in at the bottom part here. But yeah, overall, I think the box art image is a very nice part of this plane, and what definitely ties everything together very nicely. So, like usual with my review videos, I'll pause the video real quick just so I can take out the plane and all of the vehicles. So here is the FedEx A380 transportation fleet set. So like usual, I'll start off with a review of the plane, and then I'll go through all the vehicles I have kind of wrapped around the plane here on my desk, and then I'll end with reviewing the signs over here. So one of the first things I noticed when I had taken this plane out of the box was even though it is used, but it is in very good condition. I would consider it almost to be like new condition. The seller did a really great job with keeping this plane in such good condition. There's no damage on it apart from a little scratch on the tail, but so many models have that, and this is old, so I kind of would expect that even if it was new condition. So, but one of the main things I did notice when I had opened it up was one of the manufacturing issues that was on this plane. So I'm not sure if you can see right there or before, but here is on the where the plastic undercarriage meets the metal part of the fuselage, where it connects. There is this gap here. Kind of looks like it's falling off, but this is just a manufacturing issue. This has happened on a couple other my models. I probably have 3 other ones that have the same issue. Surprisingly, or not really surprisingly, but they're all 787s. Most of the time, this issue occurs on the 787 models. This one was, since it was one of the first A380s, it was probably more prone to have this kind of defect on it. But it really is no big deal. I mean, get some Gorilla Glue, put some in there, make sure you're careful so you don't, like, get glue all over the plane. And then you can fix it up right there. I mean, it's really all you gotta do, and then it's, pretty much good as new. So, other than that, though, the plane is in really good condition. But so one of the other main things about this model that makes it a lot more unique than other models, apart from the fact that it's a FedEx A380, but the cockpit windows on this plane are a little different than what are on the current A380 models. So the cockpit windows used on this model was actually for the A320. The cockpit windows here were originally for the A320 models. I have an A320 over here that I can kind of use to compare it. The model, I mean, this isn't really the best example because this model is kind of more of a newer one, the JetBlue one I have. This is kind of just the closest one I could grab. But you can definitely see that the resemblance there in the cockpit windows. And then if I hold it up to an A380, one of the current modern A380 models, I just have a Qantas one that I can use for reference. You definitely see the difference, and it definitely looks a lot more like the A320 cockpit windows than the current A380 ones. So even though there is that issue, or that difference, honestly, I just think it adds more character to the plane, and that almost makes me like the plane even more. Because the best way I can kind of depict it as is it kind of makes the plane look a little goofy, especially with the nose being a little bit more upright rather than just flat and curved. It kind of makes the plane have a lot more character to it in its own. It almost makes it look like it has its own personality there for resemblance. You can definitely see the differences there. But yeah, so and then even from the front view, I mean, kind of with the way the way that the undercarriage is kind of falling down, it makes the plane look like it's got a nice little smile to it, and then it's got the A320 cockpit windows. Kind of makes the plane look a little happy. I just really like that. I might not even fix it because I kind of like that. I kind of like that look on it. But anyway, so enough of that. I'll get into the review of the model now. So up at the front of the plane, you have the A320 cockpit windows with the very interesting, nose, the nose shape there, the falling down undercarriage, and the nose gear displayed there. You have the first cabin door, one of the only, I think there's two cabin doors on this model, and then there is the only one large cargo door, which is right after that. Displayed there behind the FedEx logo. It's FedEx with the orange X logo, and then the Federal Express, it's Federal Express displayed underneath that. It is kind of hard to see, but if I kind of enclose that a little bit more, you can see that there is the World on Time logo displayed there, which is FedEx, the slogan for FedEx that they have. There's nothing throughout the rest of the plane, no cabin windows or anything, since it's a cargo plane. But you have the registration number. I don't believe this is a real registration number in 418FE with the American flag behind that. Then you have the purple coloring that FedEx has used. I think they've used that since they had their original older Federal Express logo. It's the same coloring. The purpley bluish coloring, the dark purple blue, starts out on the undercarriage and then goes along throughout, nicely displayed throughout the tail. The whole plane is in stickers with the FedEx logo displayed, and then on the tail, whole thing is a stickers model. Same thing with the newer one as well, it is all stickers with the FedEx logo displayed in the center of the tail. And since this is the older model, this is the one that does not have any logos on the tail, on the engines, or on the sharklets. The newer one is what has the white engines with the FedEx logos on the engines and as well as the sharklets. So on the other side of the plane, I mean, it is pretty much the same overall design, except you don't have, there isn't any cargo doors on it. You do have the first main cabin door that is displayed up at the front here, but other than that, there aren't any other cargo doors displayed throughout the plane. This kind of does remind me of the original UPS 747, where there was only one main cargo door that is displayed on the rear of the plane, the stickers version. I did a review video on that a long time ago. And yeah, no manufacturing date, and just in case you want to make sure it is Realtoy, there is the Realtoy logo on the bottom underneath there, the same logo that they've had on their planes since 1993. So, pretty much is all the review for the model. So now I'll get into the review of the vehicles. So I'll start off here with one of the vans. So the selfie light I have is kind of dying, so I'll try to go through these a little bit quicker. First van is, I don't even know if some of these are like actual vans, because I've never seen this one driving around. And one of the biggest things about the vehicles displayed is how all these have some sort of different coloring on it. So this one has the FedEx with the X in the yellowy orange coloring, Trade Networks, FedEx.com. Really nicely detailed van there. Other one, the same exact van, just different logos. This is the FedEx home delivery van with the green X and then a dog carrying a package in its mouth, and then FedEx.com displayed underneath that. I have FedEx in the light green, lime green on the hood, and the same thing on the other side. And then the next one, I don't even know if this is really a van. I mean, it's a minivan. I guess that's what you could say. I mean, yeah, it pretty much is a minivan. I don't even think this is a real kind of vehicle, or like, I really don't know. It does have the Realtoy logo on it, which that is definitely interesting, because Realtoy doesn't usually put their logo on the vehicles. But there's a logo on the front. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but FedEx logo, this one has blue X on it. FedEx Kinko's office and print center. Definitely, this is probably one of my favorite vehicles. And also, I mean, the taillights on this thing are really nicely detailed. And it even has the Ford. So I guess this is a real vehicle. I mean, I'm not great with cars, but it has the Ford logo displayed on it. With the, I mean, you can even see the lettering. I mean, it's really small, but I mean, you can see it. I did not realize about that. Yeah, I think this is probably one of my favorite ones. The headlights on this are really detailed. This is definitely one of the most detailed vehicles. Definitely one of my favorites. And then you can even see all the seats inside of it and everything. I think that this is definitely a really cool vehicle. So, moving on to one of the cargo transportation trucks, freighter trucks. This one also has a blue X displayed, FedEx Custom Critical, FedEx.com with the 1-800-GO FedEx, and then some other details displayed on the stickers. And then the FedEx logo is displayed on the doors as well. I think this is the same type of one, like same type of cargo truck that comes in the Qantas 747 playset. So next, moving on to each of the semi-trucks. So, this is the first one. This is probably one of the most common ones you see. I mean, really both of them are common. This is the FedEx Freight one, has the most common, well-known FedEx logo, the FedEx and the dark reddish orange X logo. The coloring is actually different than what is on the plane. I mean, the plane has more of an orange, like an actual orange, just basic orange coloring, and then this one has the reddish orange. So technically it's a different color, and then on the details for the semi-truck, FedEx.com, 1-800-GO FedEx, and then the FedEx Freight logo on the tail and on the top part of the truck. So overall, it is a very nicely displayed, really nicely detailed semi-truck. Same thing on the other side. Next one is pretty much the same design, except it has FedEx in the lime green coloring, and this is the FedEx ground. Same logos in the same spot with the door, and then on top of it, and then at the front of the trailer, and then on the back, FedEx.com, 1-800-GO FedEx, and then the same thing on the other side as well. Next, moving on to the last set of vehicles. I can't really put it together. This is the cargo cart, the cart that moves the I keep forgetting what these are. The cargo things that you usually, the containers that you put in the planes. Yeah, this one, all white vehicle, has the FedEx Express logos on the hood, and there isn't really displayed anywhere else, but it's on the hood, and then the other ones have the two of the same ones, FedEx Express and the orange coloring. This is the same this is the same one that's on the plane. It's not like the reddish orange one on the semi-truck. This is the only vehicle that actually has the part of the vehicles that has the logo on, the slogan on it for the FedEx, the world on time. I think that was pretty cool how they included that as well. So, I don't believe this playset did come with any suitcases. I think it was just these. I don't think it did come with any suitcases, but moving on to the signs. So, I don't have, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I don't have the triangle sign that came with it, but it pretty much was this exact same design on it, except it was in the triangle shape. FedEx with the orange, FedEx Express, and then the world on time with the white background. And then you have the fire hydrant. This is always a nice little sign that comes in the large airport playsets. Really nicely details displayed on the sticker. That was one thing with the fire hydrants that I really liked. And then the playset comes with 3 of the white cones, and then it comes with 2 of the light poles. So all the stickers did end up coming off of one, but the other one has it all on. I will say, the stickers that are always on these ones are never placed really good. I mean, if you really want it to stay, you gotta glue it. Otherwise, it's not gonna stay. I mean, I had to spend a solid 2 minutes trying to fix these on here, and they're still not perfect, but anyway, yeah, that is the entire FedEx transportation fleet set. So, review ended up being a little longer than I was going to try to do it, but anyway, it is what it is. So, that is the whole FedEx A380 transportation fleet set. So, thank you all so much for watching, And let me know down in the comments what you guys' thoughts are on this plane, or if you knew it existed. I feel like there are actually quite a few models of this plane, even though FedEx never did have it. I think it was definitely a very interesting model to be produced, and a lot of people don't even know that it actually is a real one. Usually if people see it, they just think it's fictional, but I honestly wouldn't consider it a fictional model, because it was based off of a plane that was supposed to be real, just like the American A350 model. But yeah, overall, a really great model, and honestly, if you see it, I highly would suggest adding it to your collection. I mean, maybe not if it's for $200, but if you find one, anything below $100, I think would definitely be worth it. I mean, honestly, anyone would prefer anything below 50 for a playset, but the way I got it was a good deal, and it was pretty much, it's like new condition. The plane is in great condition. So I want to give huge thanks to the seller, just for keeping this plane in good condition, and the whole playset as well, and also for selling it to me. So yeah, pretty much is all there for today's review video. So just like I said at the beginning of the video, thank you all so much for helping my channel grow the past 3 years, and I look forward to creating more videos, more content in the years to come. So thank you all so much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video.